The way you move is just as important as the way you look and the way you speak. It forms a huge part of the overall impression that others will have on you, which will influence the way they treat you and the way that you can treat them. The body language traits I will share with you in this video will project an image of confidence, capability, and strength. I have broken these down into 5 categories, each of which starts with an S, so they will be easy for you to remember and implement. Let's start off with number 1. The first S stands for stability. This is how still and steady you are when standing, sitting, or walking. Nothing projects an image of confidence like a man who can remain unflinching no matter what is being said. When sitting, be sure not to fidget or keep readjusting your posture. Fidgeting is a sign of nerves, or it can show the person that's talking with you that you're distracted, which is obviously very rude. When you're standing up, try not to sway from side to side or keep readjusting your position. Obviously in these videos, I move around a lot to make it more interesting for you to watch. But in real life, keep your feet planted shoulder width apart and maintain a statue-like posture. You can even demonstrate this trait of stability when you are walking by maintaining a regular pace. The classically masculine man has planned ahead, so he doesn't need to hurry about or slow down to a shuffle. He walks at a consistent pace that is decisive and brisk, yet unflustered. And be sure to walk on the side that is nearest the road whenever you are walking with a woman. The next S stands for slow. The classically masculine man is slow with his movements. Now, you could take this too far and come across as idle or lazy, but most men are hurrying and rushing too much, and it comes across as incredibly feminine. When you're always hurrying about, this creates 2 negative impressions. First, it makes you look unprepared and flustered, which are signs of weakness. Second, it increases your chances of making a mistake, which would make you seem incompetent. Think of the last time you were at an airport. The people who are late for their flight will be dropping their bags, spilling their coffee, doing the airport security procedures incorrectly, all because they are flustered. But the well-prepared man takes his time and goes about his business unhurriedly because he knows he has planned ahead. In day-to-day situations, moving slowly will make others perceive you as being more under control. Imagine being in a business meeting where a man is about to give a presentation. If he gets up from his seat slowly, walks over to the front of the room steadily, and carefully gathers his materials, you already perceive him as much more confident and competent. The importance of doing things slowly also applies to your speech, as I explained in my other video, How to Speak Classically Masculine. Although the classically masculine man is slow with his movements, he is never weak. That doesn't mean slamming doors and smashing down glasses, but don't be afraid to be a little heavy-handed. Show your assertiveness with the way that you move objects and make contact with others. The perfect example of this is the handshake. Nothing gives an impression of trust and competence like a firm handshake. On the other hand, somebody who is extremely light with their movements and acts like the world is fragile is likely to come across as very timid and weak. Not just physically, but it says something about their mental state too. For example, notice how Tommy Shelby puts down this whiskey bottle.
I thought you were only allowed singing on a Saturday.
Whiskey is good proofing water. Tells you who's real and who isn't.
If he had put it down gently without making a noise, it would make what he was about to say seem less important. A classically masculine man isn't afraid to use his movements as a form of punctuation. And when you make movements that are both slow and strong, they seem deliberate. And the classically masculine man is deliberate and decisive in everything he does. So next time you are pulling out a chair, putting down your cup of coffee, or closing the lid on your laptop, don't do it gently, do it decisively, and see it as the punctuation and trigger for your next action. Now we come to the 4th S of classically masculine body language, space. A man should not be afraid to take up space, as long as he is not intruding on the personal space of others. For example, when sitting, feminine body language would be making yourself smaller by hunching over and keeping your hands on your lap. On the other hand, the masculine man is not afraid to lean at an angle extend his legs, and occupy space. This shows that you are comfortable and confident in the situation. A master of this is the character Don Draper. He proves that even sitting with your legs crossed can be incredibly masculine if you do it in the right way. Naturally, as a 6'2" man, I often find myself taking up space because regular seating is simply not comfortable for me. So I'll often sit with my legs outstretched, and if the chair next to me is free, I'll use it to rest my arm. And I will even sit like this in a business meeting, unless the situation demands that I show deference to the people around me. In which case, it's more respectful to only occupy a limited amount of space, but not make yourself smaller either. You will have to decide for the situation whether it's more appropriate to look respectful or relaxed. But even when sitting respectfully, maintain an open, neutral posture and never make yourself look smaller. Now we come to the final S of classically masculine body language. That is the stare. Now please note this does not mean to stare at people, especially women. This can be incredibly uncomfortable and shows a total lack of social awareness. What I'm talking about though is the power of eye contact. A classically masculine man is aware of this power and he knows how and when to use it. The ability to make eye contact is something that my generation struggles with, but when you look into people's eyes, you're able to form a deeper connection with them. This applies to dating, friendships, and professional situations. Consistently making strong eye contact is powerful in of itself, but there are some other techniques that you should be aware of. For example, you can use strong eye contact only at the end of the sentence to reinforce a point. You can also maintain eye contact with the person that you are trying to influence or connect with, even while others are speaking. And you can deliberately break eye contact to show disinterest or diffuse a situation. However you need to use eye contact will depend on the scenario and the desired outcome, but you must be comfortable with eye contact to have these tools in your arsenal. The best way to begin is by simply maintaining strong eye contact with whomever you're speaking. And once that becomes a habit, begin experimenting with more advanced techniques. I highly recommend the book How to Talk to Anyone, which has some very useful applications for eye contact. Gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed this video on the 5 S's of classically masculine body language. I want to hear from you in the comments. What is the most useful body language lesson you have learned in your life? And how do you find that it helps you? This channel is all about the community, so it means a lot to me if we can share each other's successes and learn from one another. In the meantime, I highly encourage you to check out another video I made in this series on classic masculinity, which is all about how to speak. I share with you 4 ways in which you can become a more direct, respected, and elegant communicator. So until tomorrow, I look forward to speaking with you all in the comments, and thank you very much for watching.